Hey guys, welcome back to Over the Wire with Bandit. In part 4, we finished levels 21 through 26, and today we're wrapping up the series with the final levels 27 through 33. By the way guys, if you haven't already, join the Discord to discuss Bandit levels, Linux tips, programming, or anything tech related. The link's in the description. Also, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Let's dive right in. Alright, Bandit 27. There is a Git repository at this SSH URL via the port 2220. The password for the user bandit27-git is the same as the user bandit27. From your local machine, not the over-the-wire machine, clone the repository and find the password for the next level. This needs Git installed locally on your machine. Alright guys, so for this level, we do not even need to log into this machine because this is basically a Git challenge. We can actually type exit right here. By the way, if you guys don't know what Git is, it's basically a version control system that developers use to collaborate on source codes or basically projects. So we can clear the screen right here now guys. And what we can do to use Git in order to clone this repository, we can type git clone. And we could simply just copy this URL right here that they give us, or SSH URL. And then at the end of this subdomain, that's overthewire.org, we can add a colon 2220, since that's the port number that they gave us. And if we press enter on our keyboard, it would clone the Git repository. So you can say it says cloning into repo, but we need to provide the password for the current level. So we can paste that in, and now it's cloned properly. So let's clear the screen. We type ls. You can see that there is the repository. Now let me just rename this repository. So we can type move repo into bandit27-git. And we can clear the screen. We can cd into bandit27-git. And if we type ls, we can see that there is a readme file. Let's read the contents of this file. So to do this, we can type the command cat readme. And now you can see it says the password to the next level is this. So we can simply just copy this guys right here. And then let's go back to the previous directory now. Let's go on the Bandit 28 page and let's see what we need to do. Alright, so it's basically a Git challenge again. So what we can do, we can actually just clear the screen that we have copied the password for the previous level. And what we can do guys, we can simply just write git clone. And we can copy this new URL that they give us, right? And we can paste this URL, but we need to put the port number at the subdomain name, so we can put colon 2220 right here. And it will actually clone into this repo folder. But let's add an alias, which would be bandit28-git. That way we will not need to rename the repo folder or repository. And now guys, we can simply paste the password that we copied. And let's wait on this to clone. Alright, so it's cloned successfully. We can cd into bandit28-git. And let's type ls. We can see there is a readme file again. We can do cat readme.md. And it says some notes for level 29 of Bandit. Alright, so with Git guys, if you guys don't know how to use Git, you can actually look it up, or you can actually use man pages as well. That's manual pages in Linux. You can even type git dash dash help, and it will actually give you some help on how you can use certain commands. Or so for this level, guys, let's try to type git branch and see how many branches there are. It only shows master, which we are currently on. So let's type git branch dash a to list any hidden branches that we have. But currently there isn't any. So instead, let's try to type git show. And we can see, guys, that they actually changed the readme file actual password to this XXX thing right here. So we can actually just copy this password, and that would be it for this level. So we can type cd ... and let's go to Bandit 29 page. We can actually close this right here, and it's basically a git challenge again. So let's clone this repository. So we can type git clone, and we can simply copy this SSH URL that they give us again, and we can paste this in, and then we can clone this repository into a specific folder name or give it an alias. So we can type bandit29-git, and let's wait on this to complete. Wait, let's see. Oh, I see. We forgot to add the port number. So at the end of the subdomain, we are supposed to add :2220, and now it should clone into the repository. So let's wait on this to complete. So we can paste this in, the password in, right? And we can cd into bandit29-git. Let's clear the screen. We can type ls, and there's a readme.md. We can cat this out or read this contents of it, and it says no passwords in production. All right, so let's clear the screen, guys. Let's try to do git log, and it says fix username. Let's try to do copy one of these commits history, and we can do git show, and now we can see there is actually no passwords right here. So guys, in Git there is actually something that you call branches, and branches are basically like sections that developers can use to work on specific features, or basically to separate like the code or the code base when they're collaborating with one another. So what we could do, we could type git branch-a to list all the branches that are present. We can see there's a remote right here. There's a dev branch. So we could do git checkout, and then we could just write dev for this dev branch, and it would switch to that branch for us. So let's clear the screen, and let's try to do git log, and we can see the commits history, and right here for this commit it says add data needed for development. So we can copy this commit hash right here. We can clear the screen, and now we can try to do git show, and right here, guys, we can see where they actually replace the actual password with this no password in production. So we can copy this password right here, and now we can go to the next level. So we can type cd ... and let's go on the Bandit 30 page. All right, let's wait on this to load. All right, so we just need to clone this repository again. So git clone. We can copy this repo they gave us, and then we can paste that link in, and then we can add a port number, which is 2220, so colon 2220. And let's wait on this to clone. Alright, we need to paste the password in for Bandit 30 that we got, and it's cloned successfully. It cloned into a repo. We should move this repo into bandit 30-git, and we can cd into bandit 30-git. Well, let's clear this screen and let's do cat readme.md, and it says just an empty file, muhuhaha. Alright, so first, guys, let's try to run a git log. Let's see. Let's type git branch -a to list all the branches, and nothing shows up. Let's see. Let's try git tag. We can see that there is a secret, guys. So right here we can simply do git show secret, and we can see that this is the password for bandit 31. So let's do cd ... and let's go on the bandit 31 page now and see what they say. Alright, so immediately we copy this repository again, and we can say git clone. We can paste that repository. We can add the port number colon 2220. When cloning the repository, guys, remember that we can add an alias, so we can say bandit 31-git, and let's wait on this to clone. We'll need to provide the password for bandit 31. Let's give it a bit. Right, so we can paste this password in, and let's wait on this to clone properly. Right, so it's cloned successfully now. We can cd into bandit 31-git. So let's type ls, and then we can read the contents of this readme file, and it says this time your task is to push a file to the remote repository. And they give us some details, guys. We should create a file name called key.txt, and the contents should be may I come in. Alright, so let's create a file called t.txt that contains this content. So we can just copy this content, guys, and we can just type the command echo, and then we can surround this message with quotation marks. It can be single or double quotes, and then we can write this greater than sign to redirect this output into a file name. So in this case it will be key.txt, and let's press enter on our keyboard. If we type ls, there should be a file called key.txt. Alright, let's clear the screen, and we can do git status, but for some reason it does not show the key.txt file. So let's type ls-al to list hidden files, and we can see that there is a .gitignore file. Now, if you guys don't know what a .gitignore file is, it's basically a file that developers can use to filter local files or certain files that they do not want to go into a production environment. So let's clear the screen, and we can do cat.gitignore, and we can see it's ignoring all text files or .txt files. So let's actually just remove this .gitignore. So we can do git or m.gitignore, and then we can do git status, and now you can see that we deleted the .gitignore, and the key.txt file now shows. So now we can add this key.txt file. To do this, we can do git add key.txt, and then after doing this, guys, we can do git status. You can see now that the new file is now present. So now we need to make a commit. So we can type git commit-m, and then we can say added key.txt, and we can just type git push, and let's see what happens. Let's give it a second. Alright, so now we need to provide the password for the current level again, so we can paste that in. And you can see, guys, it tried to attempt to push the file, but it failed. And then it says, well done, here is the password for the next level. So let's copy that password, guys. Alright, so let's go on this level 32 page now. We can actually come out of this repository. You can say cd ... and let's see. It says Bandit Level 32. After all this git stuff, it's time for another escape. Good luck. Alright, so let's try to SSH into this level now, guys. So we can say SSH Bandit. Let's just put a 33 right here. And then we can actually paste the password that we got. And let's wait on this to log in. Alright, so we paste the password in. Let's give it a few seconds. Why did it say incorrect password? Let's paste it and see. Paste it one more time. Wait, let's see what's really going on. Let's cd into bandit31-git again. And let's try to do a git push again and try to copy the password again. So we can paste this password right here. Oh, why is this happening? Right, so wait, let's see. Alright, now it works. Alright, so let's copy the password again, guys. So we can do cd ... and let's try to log into Bandit32 again with the password that we copied. Let's see if it works now. Right, let's give it a second. Oh shoot, sorry about this, guys. It should be Bandit32. Oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so let's paste the password in. Alright, so now we are logged into Bandit32. So you can see it says welcome to upper shell. Alright, let's try to type a command in. So we can type something like ls. We can type pwd. We can type who am I. But now it's saying, it's basically capitalizing this or each commands that we input. So in this case, guys, we cannot type like regular commands in since it's capitalizing it, but it's executing it using the shell, shell, right? So let me show you guys something. One way we could actually escape this, there's actually a environment variable in Linux, or the terminal for that matter. We can type echo $0, and this environment variable, guys, stores the current program that is running. So since our command that we are executing is being run by a shell, then we could actually type $0. Let's do it in our local terminal. We press enter and we would get a shell right here. Now if we typed exit again, you would see that we go back to the original shell. We can type exit right here. So in order to get a shell on this system, guys, we can just write $0 and then we can press enter on our keyboard, and immediately you can see that we now have a shell. We can type ID and you can see we're now Bandit33. Awesome, right? So now if we type ls, you can see that we're actually right here, guys. Alright, so let's go on the Bandit 33 page now. And let's see what happens. At this moment, level 34 does not exist yet. Alright, but let's actually retrieve the password for level 33. So we can do cat /etc /bandit_pass /bandit 33. And immediately we'll get the password for Bandit 33. So we can copy that and we can type exit to quit. We can type Ctrl+C to quit. And now we can clear the screen, guys. Let's try to SSH into Bandit 33. So Bandit 33 at bandit.labs, alright. Alright, so now we can simply just paste the password that we copied into this SSH. So we can paste it right here. And now we now have access to Bandit 33. Alright, let me just clear the screen, right? So if we type ls, we can do cat readme.txt, and it says, wait, let me cat it again. Alright, so it says, congratulations on solving the last level of this game. At this moment, there are no more levels to play in this game. However, we are constantly working on new levels and will most likely expand this game with more levels soon. Alright. Keep an eye out for an announcement or usual community challenge. In the meantime, you could play some of our other war games. Alright guys, so we have successfully completed Over the Wire with Bandit. This was an amazing series. I hope you all learned something valuable. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Comment down below if you guys have any questions. Stay tuned. And I'll see you in another video. Peace.